Well, here's a fun one. This person says, everything I draw. Oh, let's start with is there a way? This person was responding to our prospect tool quick tip. I've forgotten the number, but you can Google it or you can search for it in the search bar. Nevertheless, this person is asking, is there a way to use this tool to make ovals or faces that don't look like lopsided eggs? And this person says, everything I draw looks like it's slightly leaning to the right. I'm legally blind in one eye, so that's part of the problem. Is there anything that can help with this? You knew I'd come up with an answer, didn't you? Well, to conquer that problem is a matter of paying attention to what your hand is doing when you're drawing. A lot of people don't really know how to look when they're drawing. They think they can't draw because they don't know how to look at the image. So I'm going to give you a couple of little ideas here. And this is a skill, this is a practice session you can put yourself through. You'll be surprised whether you're blind in one eye or whether you can see well out of both eyes. You'll be surprised at how this will straighten out your drawing. And it will make drawing a joy rather than something to be dreaded. So, one thing is how you hold a pencil and how you move your hand. Now, too many people will hold the pencil way down here and they just draw with their fingers like that. Well, that doesn't do it, because if you're just drawing with your fingers, if you're drawing something that's larger, what your fingers are doing, you're scratching as you go. I've seen that so many times. And things will look lopsided because you haven't considered what the edge of the shape is doing. Every edge of every shape is doing something. And what it's doing is creating what you see. So think in terms of edges doing. Now, what can an edge do? An edge can move. It can move circular like this. It can move in a number of types of curving directions. And those directions could be going up and down like that, or they could be going in a diagonal like that, or they could be going towards a vertical, meaning that the beginning and the end of the edge would be creating that feeling of horizontal or vertical or diagonal, or it just might be a circle. Now, that's one thing. There's something else that an edge can do. It can go straight. So an edge can only do one of two things, or two of these two things combined. It can go straight and it can go curved. You put that together and then you ask yourself, in which direction is it going? And you only have three things to consider there. You have the vertical direction, you have the horizontal direction, and you have a diagonal direction. Lots and lots and lots of diagonal directions. The diagonal directions are tilting. They are edges that tilt, and those edges can be straight or curved or a combination of straight and curved. Now, that's how simple it is. So that's what you look for when you're drawing. And then what about the skill of drawing? How do you move your pencil to do that? Not like this, because if you're moving it like that, you're not getting that sense of the flow of the edge. You're just hatching it out, sort of like a chicken would scratch for food, that sort of thing. So I want to show you this exercise. You can go, I would suggest using photographs first of all, just to learn the exercise, just to learn how to move your hand and how to hold your pencil and how to train your eyes or your hand to follow what your eyes are seeing. So go to Pixabay, which is one of the best places I know to get things that are not copyrighted, images that are not copyrighted, and search for egg. Start with an egg. Start with a very simple shape, and then gradate yourself. Gradually move to more complex shapes, and the more you do that, the easier the whole thing becomes. So I found this egg on Pixabay. Now, if you enlarge it, if you've got a printer and you print that photo out and print it out relatively large so that you can see better what those edges are doing. Now, I'm going to prove my point right here. Look at what this edge is doing. It's curving towards a vertical. You see that? It's moving towards a vertical. It's curving. Curving is what it is doing as it moves. And look what it does on this side. It curves towards a vertical. Look what it does at the top. It curves towards a horizontal. Very short, very short. At the bottom, it curves towards a horizontal. So if you can just hold your pencil so it's relatively comfortable in your hand. You don't squeeze it. If you squeeze it, then you defeat your purpose. You won't feel that movement in your arm. But if you feel that movement in your arm, be conscious to feel that movement in your arm. Develop an awareness of what the pencil is doing. Just think what the pencil is doing, not what the image, don't think egg. If you think egg, you're going to get off on the wrong track, and your egg might look lopsided or something like that. But if you aware what is the pencil doing, you develop that awareness, and you'll feel that, and you should be able to do that here. So it's developing an awareness of what the pencil is doing as it is following those edges. Now, I have this little system I call phantom drawing, and that does help an awful lot to build an awareness of what the pencil's doing. And this is how it goes. You've probably seen other quick tips where I've done this, and maybe I think I've done that in at least one of our chats, maybe more than one. But this is the kind of thing you can't do too much of. But if you have your photo here, and if you just hover your pencil over that photo, and instead of just going one time, go forward, backward, and forward again. See what that does, because every edge can move in two directions. It can move forward, backward, forward, backward. Depending, it doesn't make any difference where you are, that edge is going to go forward and backward. Either, it doesn't matter whether it's straight or curved. So if you get the feeling of that, forward, backward, holding the pencil slightly over your image, and you're feeling that, you're aware of that, and you just bring that awareness over to your paper, and you do that. Now, don't just keep going around, but do it again. Just that one side, do it again. Forward, backward. And then you begin aware that it's a little longer here and a little shorter here. The curve is a little straighter, not quite as curved here, and a little more curved there. All right, so we can do that. Make that curve a little straighter, and then make it go a little less straight there, a little bit more of a curve there. And when you're at the top, just make that pencil move at the top like that. And you can see you move it one forward, forward, backward, forward, backward. I always like to go at least forward, backward, forward, backward. You can do that more than just one set of moves. The more you do it, the more you become aware, or you more develop that awareness that your hand is following what your eyes are seeing. And so if we do something like this now, go on the other side, you could do something else. If it's a very, very long line, then you can cut it short and do it in two parts. So something like this, you could stop it about right here. You could go forward, backward, forward again. Forward, backward, forward again. Forward, backward, forward again. And then you could come around like this, and you do the phantom, feel how it feels, and then you come forward, backward, forward again. Forward, backward, forward again. And you can see then in the bottom begins to sort of flatten out a little bit. So you could just like that. And you see that way, you're able to explore what the hand is doing. And then you can do it again. Now this time I developed a stronger awareness of what this side was doing than I did that side. So I can do it again. And so this time I might just decide to go this way. I might decide to just go to the edge, forward, backward, forward again, forward, backward, forward again, and then take that longer trip forward and curve like that. So if you go through an egg first several times, just at whatever size it comes out being, then do step two, do another thing. Change the size of it. Now, a lot of people have trouble when they're drawing and when they're painting. They have trouble changing the size of something. But all you have to do is just begin with shorter lines to represent a size. For example, if we're doing that, the forward, backward, forward again, and we will make it small, then we just make a smaller size. Go forward, backward, forward again, forward, backward, forward again, forward, backward, forward again. And then on the other side, we'll do the same thing. Just change the size. Forward, backward, forward again, forward, backward, forward again, forward, backward, forward again. A smaller line. Now, if you change the size just 3 times, change the size and get it very, very small, then change it then to another size, you will find that you remember what you're doing. You're not drawing an egg. That's important. You're not drawing an egg. You're creating an awareness of how your hand is moving. And your hand is following what your eye is seeing. And so you keep those things in mind. And when you get used to that, you'll be surprised at how easy it is to do. Then go to something a little more complicated. Not very much more, but something like a simple vase like I have here. That too I found on Pixabay. And you see, we have the same sort of lines. We have the same sort of movement. Everything does. You've got curves and you've got straight lines. You've got them moving in those 3 directions. So, let me get some different clean paper here. And let's anchor it down. All right. Now, you notice here, our egg curved this way. This curves this way. So it doesn't matter. Your hand can follow that movement. You see what we have happening here? We have it going this way. It's a little bit, it has a slight curve in it, but it's more vertical. You see there, like that. So forward, backward, forward again. 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 Forward, backward, forward, backward, forward again. Now I'm going to stop right here. I know that there are books that give you formulas for drawing. And what that does, I'm not trying to slam any particular drawing teacher. But what I'm saying is that if you're depending on just knowing how to draw an oval or knowing how to draw a circle or those kinds of things and fit a shape into it, that's coming from your head. That's coming from your memory. It's not necessarily coming from your eyes. It's your eyes that make the observation, and your hand is following your eyes as your eyes are making that observation. What this does is to teach you what to look for as your eyes are making the observation. So I think just doing that sort of thing, I know just doing that sort of practice will enable you to draw comfortably anything you see. But like any new skill or any new thing that you approach, you need to do it in order to learn it. And so this doesn't take long. You don't even have to use a regular drawing paper. You can do this on any kind of paper. Any kind of instrument that will draw will help you to do this exercise. And all you need to do is to look and draw. So go to another, like I said, go from an egg to something much simpler. And then let me show you one other. Then go to something a little bit more complex. This one's just a different proportion, but it's got some of the same lines in it. And of course, you would approach it the same way, where at the top here, forward, backward, and then you notice it's almost straight. Telling yourself this stuff is not a bad idea because it's an observation. This is almost straight. If this is not this, and a lot of people will do that, they'll think of the top of a vase or a car wheel they're looking at sideways or something like that, and they think round, they draw it round, and it doesn't look right. That is unnecessary time wasted. Look at it and tell yourself what it's doing. Is it going straight? Is it curving? How much is it curving? If you do that, you see, you can go forward, back. You feel it in your hand. You can do the same thing there. Forward, back, forward again. Have a tiny little connection there. You don't have a big thing like that. You have a tiny little connection there. And then you have the upside down version of that same movement. Forward, back, forward again. Forward, back, forward again. The other thing is, if your lines as you're practicing the exercise, if your lines seem to skew one way or another, you don't fret about that. You're training yourself to observe. You're training yourself to see what your hand is doing and what your eyes are looking at. So you see here, this one's slightly tilted in, and you can make that observation as you go forward, back, and forward again. On this side, the same thing. And when you're drawing something that's symmetrical like that, as you're moving down, it's not a bad idea to do a portion of, when it has changes in direction, especially like this does. It's not a bad idea to draw these portions together as you move down. And that way you won't make it so lopsided like that person was saying in her email. What was it? Comment. So that would go this way. That's going like that. It's got a slight slant, but it's straight like that. This one's going this way. It's got a slight slant, but straight like that. Do this. I'm just doing the same thing over and over again. So just a pencil that works, paper, your eyes, and your hand. That's all you need. I think you'll be amazed at what this will do to your ability to draw, and to draw in a way that makes it fun to do. Be sure to view all of our quick tips. And while you're doing so, subscribe to the channel, click on the bell so you'll always get a notice when we produce a new quick tip, which is every week. And if you have a question, leave it in the comments section and we'll make a quick tip for you. Also, take a trip over to dyingminds.com where I have full-length lessons, downloads, DVDs, lots of other stuff there, some free stuff for you. And while you're there, you can subscribe to the newsletter, and that way you'll always be informed every time we do something new.